I cannot believe we're at episode 7 already. Let's see if the bunkers are ready. Oh, that's exciting. We got 2 bunkers. Let's go ahead and uncover them. We're gonna get all this sold to start out the morning. I'm gonna start filling these up, and using our new tractor should be nice and allow us to get back and forth a lot faster. And if we're lucky, we'll get enough money to pay the tractor off. That's the goal. First load of silage here. Let's see how the prices are today. Maybe it'll be higher than normal. I don't think so though. Yeah, 4,800. That's about what we've been getting. So we will go back and show you where we cut grass to fill up that second silo. I'm sure those of you following the series are like, hey, you only had 1 silo covered last episode. And before passing the time, I decided to fill up the other one so that I had both of them filled up for extra income. And I'll show you where we cut in a second. So out here in the back of our property, near the area we established as our border, we went ahead, I believe it was 5 passes with the mower from basically border to border, or barrel to barrel over there, way to the distance. Let's go ahead and pick it up and do a little bit of a time lapse. But before that, we're gonna make a little adjustment just to make our lives a little bit easier. So hopping in build mode here real quick, or construction mode. Down here in the corner, there's a new company moved into town that's buying silage. Very nice, that'll be very helpful. We interrupt this time lapse to switch tractors because I remembered this one is leased, so hours are going to be important. So we're only going to use that when we really need to right now, until we completely own it and have it paid off. And then at that point, we will start using it whenever we want. And you see, we have the bucket on here because we were using that to help us move the spilled silage back into the pit. Man, that was so much easier than the way we did it last time by using the wagon here. But back to the time lapse. And driving back for the last time, holy moly, 45 minutes in, and we've just done this. You know, it's funny, I don't think we even needed both pits for that because neither of them were very full. So we're not getting much more money than we got before, but I don't think we'll do 2 pits, and I'm hoping this is the last time we do silage for a while. And with this money, I think we're gonna hold on to it for a little bit before we decide, because we still have some things to buy. Once we do our first harvest, I think then we will tackle whatever we have leased at that point, because we still got to get a grain cart or a truck, and we still need to get our harvester. Other implements we're pretty good on right now. So as we progress, I think those are the only 2 big things that are required. The rest are just going to be quality of life upgrades and maybe a planter. Well, let's get back. We're going to start plowing away at a new field and keep on expanding this property to make it as profitable as possible. And you know, our most favorite thing to do, plow. Well, technically this is not a plow. It is a cultivator, but let's go ahead and lower that. We got fields enabled, and speed override is on 9 miles an hour. So if we do speed override, it says 14 is recommended. Let's see if this tractor can even handle that. It seems like it can. It seems a little too fast for me though. Let's drop it down to about 10. Yeah, that feels good. So we'll get this all plowed up, and then we're gonna actually treat this one for lime, or with lime, to just start being a little bit more profitable per field. And as we harvest the other fields, we'll definitely lime those to get them caught up. Yeah, old school survival is pretty fun. Let's get this all plowed. And another beautifully plowed field. Oh, this is sweet. Let's take this home, get this cleaned up, and then we're going to get the spreader, buy some lime, and get some lime spread for the first time in old school survival. And just a little spray down here, and good as new. As you can see, we've had about $1,400 worth of lime delivered. We're gonna go ahead and get the spreader now and get it all filled up, and I have no idea if 4 bags is gonna be enough. No clue at all. You know, since it only holds less than a yard of lime, I imagine we're going to be coming back here a lot to fill it up. And let's see, I think we do this, and it should just start. Yeah, it just starts working. And the percentage seems to be dropping pretty rapidly here. Oh, joy. So not even one side of the field. And we got to go back and forth. Or 4 bags might not be enough. We'll find out. Now, someone made a suggestion that we should keep old equipment even if we're done with it and like hide it in the bushes or something. I think we're done with this spreader, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start doing those. We're gonna start doing that. We're gonna put it right here for now. It's fine. And then let's hop to the John Deere because we're gonna take that to the dealership, and we're gonna take a look at a new spreader for the farm. And it's one that I did a lot of research on, and I was struggling finding the year it was made. So once you see it, we're going to use it this episode. If you don't agree that it's old school, we'll call an audible. We'll make a change. Let's get there, and I'll show you. And, you know, kind of thinking about it as I'm driving, it might be cool to see all the equipment at the end of this series. And we're almost at an hour on this tractor, so we are going to see a little bit of money get deducted here pretty soon once that hour of operating time kicks in. It's unfortunate, but that's part of the game that we're playing. So the Wilmar is what we're looking at, and it says 3.7 tons. So it'll be interesting to see if we can pull this off, but we are going to lease this and make sure, gosh, I hope, because you know the rules, we leased it, we got to keep it, even if we can't use it. Seems fine empty. We'll see when we fill it up with lime how that goes. And then we're going to try liquid fertilizer today and see if that gives us actual 100% instead of 30% fertilization like we were getting. Yeah, and let me know. The Wilmar brand is very old and doesn't seem to exist in the same form as it did when these were made. From my research, I could be completely wrong with that. But let me know if you agree that this is old school or not. Some of it seems a little newer, but again, we're kind of cutting off at like 1989 for old school. So I found these like, I feel like the 70s, maybe the 60s had these, but yeah, that research was done a couple weeks ago, so my brain's a little foggy on that right now. And I missed the tick over cost-wise, but this lease was like $1,700, and then we probably lost the other amount of money, so about another $1,300 or so on the lease cost. I wonder if we can see that. Yeah, checking the stats today, we do have $2,500 in leasing costs, and that's not all this Wilmar. So let's go get it filled up, and this should help us get this job done much more efficient than the little spreader did. Now, I imagine all 4 of these bags would probably fit in here. I don't know, though. Maybe not. 3 bags, it seems. A little bit more than 3. And to be honest, it might be exactly 3 due to us using a little bit in one bag. But look at the law. All right, once we use a little bit, that'll go away, but that's kind of sad. All right, let's go ahead and turn this on. And it seems like we have enough horsepower. Oh, look at the width on this too. Yeah, this was a good purchase. And boy, that just took a job that was going to take forever and made it very effortless almost. Just a little spot that we missed. And then we can go get the planter or seeder. I always say it wrong, the seeder. Figure out what we want to plant here. And thinking about it, that might be something we upgrade as well. Leases. Lease to own, mind you. I've been parking a lot of the larger things outside. We're going to resolve that issue here soon. Oh, sorry mower. With a new shed, but again, I want to be a little careful with costs and things that we're purchasing before we make that decision. I might have had a save game issue where the game kept running and I thought it didn't, so it's 18:20 already. We're gonna play a ×1 to finish the episode. So we've installed once again the Case IH 5100 seeder. From what I understand, it was made in the 80s, and we're going to go with it. And hopefully we have enough seed at home. If not, we can get some delivered, but do you think this John Deere is going to be okay pulling a Case implement? Might be a little annoyed with it. Just wanted to speed up planting because I was, I'm getting tired of the tiny little cedar. And this is my favorite cedar in game in general, so we'll roll with it. I love it. Yep, this has probably been in every series, hasn't it? I think the equivalent John Deere one we've had in a few series. But yeah, it's kind of redundant, but I love it. So the thing about this cedar that I totally forgot was it does solid fertilizer as well. So this will be a quick test to see how that process is working, if this map's broken or if it was that implement earlier that we were using. Let's go ahead and fill it on up. And we do need to do another order of seed. $800 and a $20 delivery fee. With 77% fertilizer, we'll see if that's enough before we buy more. And I think we have a little bit, sorry wagon, I think we have a little bit left up here, so we'll go do that as well. We can use that as well. Let's get this filled on up. Planting our rye. We're gonna plant rye. It comes with the map. It might be a mistake. I don't know how the crop's gonna look. I didn't test it out because I'm lazy, but hopefully it'll be fine. And I checked the harvesters, the bean headers will be able to harvest it, so that's what the game's telling me at least. We'll find out later on though. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of this and then check the numbers behind us. See how it's looking. 28% fertilized. We might have to use precision farming on this map. Or maybe, I don't know. I know Nate, Fearsome Rhino, was using this map as well and was having issues with some other things. So it's just the way, like the colors on here are just so strange. The way it's, yeah, I don't know if it's this map, a mod that we have. Like we don't have very many game-changing mods. Man, and to see if it does show. I mean, this is definitely a strange topic for this series that I just don't want to deal with anymore, but it does show a fully fertilized. So something with this map is making these implements fertilize at 2 stages, but at a lower percentage. Maybe I will look in, since I got this map from Happy, I haven't actually looked into the base map he used. Maybe I'll look into that and see if there's any notes about it. Frustrating. But, the flip side of that is we could spin it to where it's old school equipment that just wasn't as good as current technology. And that's why we're going to have a huge decrease in yield bonus. It is what it is, but we'll try our best. Now, I didn't add precision farming because I didn't feel like that was a current, or I didn't feel like that was very old school. But if it fixes some of these problems, I think we will add it. So that'll be one of the tests that I do. I promised tests before this episode, but it's been a hectic week for me. And done. This implement is such a pleasure to work with. I love it. The width of it is pretty much the max we'll probably go with in this series. Yeah, it's probably the biggest implement we'll go with. I probably should have used the Comfort King though, because this just looks kind of ugly together. Last thing we want to do today is check on the chickens, so we'll go ahead and switch the bucket out for the forks again on the Comfort King and get them fed. And I also want to see how they're doing with the egg production. Man, we need to clean up. You can always tell when I'm running behind on recordings because the farm ends up being a mess. Little insight there. All right, we should just have to line up here, pick up the bag a little bit, and get them topped off for the month. And approach was bad. Approach was bad. Straighten out the wheel. And we missed. This is a terrible angle to try to do it. That's hilarious. Up a little bit higher. There we go. And they're fed. All right, let's shut this off. Take a look at the eggs. All right, so 112 pieces. You ladies need to get busy. So if that's maxed out, their health is maxed out, they're adults, and that's all we're getting. We need to grow the empire massively. So I'll be looking for some mods for that on some buildings that look somewhat old school. And let's call an audible right now. We're gonna place down another one of these until we find a better one. We got the money right now, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Just a little bit of grass path on both sides. And then I'm gonna turn on my menus so I can see where the animals are, and we're gonna buy 20 more. Info triggers are on, should be right here. And I believe it was 20. Yeah, 20. All right, Let's get the chicken empire going. We'll get one of the other bag moved over here, so they'll have a bag on each side. And definitely learning that we're going to have plenty of inventory of chicken feed until we're able to harvest our own. So we should be good. All right, we got a hold of it. The balance is a little rough, though. Look at that. Just at first, that's funny. So we'll loop around here on 3 wheels. Get the new chickens fed. There we go. Feeding them real nice there. Oh, look at all that going in. Yeah, I guess it was a good amount at the beginning. And then we'll just drop this down. And we'll have a bag on each chicken coop. And 40 chickens to our name now. And these ones will get up to health. They'll produce some eggs for us. And before we know it, we'll be making money off of eggs and expanding even more. That's pretty cool. I'm Socksway Up. I'll catch you on the next episode.